What's up, YouTube? This is your boy, the Silver Jawn, here with my second video ever, and today's topic is one that I haven't seen a lot on YouTube, and there's not a ton of recent information about it on the internet either, as it pertains to stacking. So, what is today's topic? Well, as you can see, I've got a lot of mostly circulated Canadian coinage here, mostly 80% silver. And why do I have this? For the same reasons that anyone would stack US junk silver. So let me grab a handful of that. So your US junk, 90% silver, Barbers, Standing Liberties, Walking Liberties, Franklins, Rosies. I think I got a Washington here somewhere. Washington quarter. So all those guys, your 90%, your junk, your constitutional, whatever you want to call it, people love it, right? Because it's recognizable, divisible, looks great, and there's history behind it. Obviously, being an American stacker, this is like, this stuff is like your go-to silver because everybody knows what it is, and they know the dates since we're Americans living in America. So, but the premiums on that stuff are outrageous. And besides that, it's getting a little hard to find these days. I don't know if you noticed. So, sure, you can go to online retailers. They're selling a roll of Washington quarters. I don't know if this is a full roll, but you get the idea. So, like a roll of Washington quarters, that's like 7.2 ounces of actual silver content. And they're selling that for like $250. So it ends up being like $34, $35 an ounce silver. So, and since spot is like 25 right now, so you're paying like $10 premium for, something that's not premium silver bullion. It's great stuff, don't get me wrong. But, now if you go on eBay, you might save a couple bucks, but in order to do that, you'll be working against other bidders. And there's a lot of listings that are meant to mislead you about the weight of the lot or the type of coins that you're getting. And after all that trouble, you might only spend 6 or 7 over spot for US junk silver. So my advice would be to avoid that hassle and head down to your favorite coin shop for a more reasonable deal on your 90% silver. You might get it for $20 or $21 a dollar face value right now. Except if your coin shop is anything like mine, they don't have much US junk in stock at all anymore, and they might have been out for weeks or months by this point. So one thing though that has been in relative abundance is the Canadian junk silver. So your halves are a little bit rarer, and they're really nice coins. What you'll find a lot of, I think, is the quarters and dimes with Queen Elizabeth II and George VI on there. I think it's George VI, right? Hold on, let's double check. Yeah, George VI. It says it right on there. It's Roman numerals. So, what was I getting at? Right. So I'm able to get this stuff at spot, and for in my opinion, that's a pretty good deal. So now you might not have this at your shop. I'm suggesting that you go down and check. But so why would we stack this 80% Canadian junk silver, US? Why would you do that when you can stack US junk that's 90%? 90% is higher than 80, and more pure is better, right? Well, just like sterling silver is more wear resistant than fine silver, the 800 silver is a little bit more wear resistant than your 90% coin silver. So it makes for like a little bit more of a durable coin. But really, getting past the purity aspect, let's think about how very conveniently a dollar face value in any Canadian 80% coins is equal to 0.6 ounces of silver. So this silver dollar is 0.6 ounces. If I had 10 of them, hold on. if I have 10 of them, so that's 6 ounces of silver right there. And they make a lovely sound when you ring them. Hold on. Let's just try this real quick. Oop. Amazing. Really nice coins. So, silver dollars, 0.6. 2 halves, 0.6. 4 quarters, 0.6 ounces. You get the idea, right? 10 dimes, 0.6 ounces. Okay. It's really easy to calculate what you're shopping for when you buy this stuff. So that's a super big advantage, and all the denominations are the same for the most part, unlike US junk where the silver dollars are like 3/4 of an ounce of silver, and the smaller coins are, you know, per face value it's like 0.71 or something. So, you know, it's not quite as complicated with the Canadian 80%. So now stuff before 1921 is a different story. So there's some, this stuff's actually sterling silver, and I have a few quarters and 1 dime. So I think all these quarters I just got from the junk bin at the coin shop, and they're mostly slicked so bad that you can't really see anything. I mean, there's a date on like this one. This is a 1918, and then there's a 1905 here. And they actually changed the portrait at some point, because in the later ones, George V is facing one way, and in earlier ones he was facing the other way. So this dime in particular, I think I got, my uncle did some traveling in the 90s, so he found this. So this one, this is a 1913 dime, and must have been in circulation up until that point, because I sure haven't spent it. So that's your little history lesson. Now, for Canadian coins, basically anything up to and including 1966 is going to be good without a doubt. 1967 is where it gets wonky, where the dollars and the halves were still 80%, but they were messing around. They had like 80% and 50% silver for the dimes and the quarters. And actually, I got some mint sets here that I can pull out real quick and show you what those are all about. Nope, wrong one. 1967. So these are mint sets from the Canadian Royal Mint, I suppose. Now let's see. So normal portrait on the obverse, 1967. So they have a goose dollar, and this is like the centennial. And then there's like a wolf and a fish and a cat and a bunny. So these two coins should be 80%, but then these two, they could be either 50% or 80% silver. So 1967, you got to be a little bit more careful with. 1968, I just wouldn't even mess with, at all. Forget about it. It's not good for if you're stacking. If you're a coin collector, then knock yourself out. But my fellow stackers, I would not mess with the 1968s unless you're some sort of alchemist that can bother to test whether or not a coin is 50% silver or not. So let's see. Now, the silver dollars only began in 1935. And at that time, they had a portrait of George V. But they've always been 80% up until they stopped making them in like 1968. And so they were always the same weight. They were introduced with this Voyager obverse or reverse. Pardon me. Let me see if I can get a better one. I have like a 1965 here that's a little bit more detailed. So there's like the French-Canadian Voyager and the Canadian Indigenous Indian on a canoe taking their furs downriver, I suppose. It's actually a lovely design. Let's see if I can get Another nice one. It's pretty brilliant. So it's really nice silver dollars, and they also had several commemorative dollars that were only offered like in 1 year a piece. So here's the like 1964 Quebec. I have one that's sealed and one that's got a little patina on it. Now there are other years that are much more desirable. The 1939, the 1949, and 1958 are great looking silver dollars that are going to have a lot more numismatic value. So if you can get one of those for cheap, like if you can find it in the bulk bin at your coin shop, then definitely pounce on those. I don't have an example to show you. I wish I did. So guys, let's face it, with high premiums on so many types of silver lately, I want to fill my stack with silver that's going to appreciate based on the value of silver alone. I don't really want to have spent a bunch of money on like, premiums because of supply shortages and stuff like that. So my shop sells it at spot, and they have the chart up on the TV, so you're getting the real-time price. And I love to buy from them because they are priced to sell. They're not a museum. So on eBay, these coins are very liquid. I've sold a few small lots because I'm trying to build up my eBay feedback. Normally, I'll just sell a few quarters or what have you and get it out there, building up my feedback, which is advice I've taken from some other stackers on YouTube. So you just want to get your reputation up, because if you ever need to sell silver, well, you don't want it to be a big ordeal. You want to know exactly what you're doing already and have maybe even like a customer base built up. So it's just something to think about, because if silver is a part of your life, well then the more that you deal in it, the more you're gonna understand how to buy and sell. So guys, that does it for my introduction to the Canadian junk silver. My friends, this might not be available in your neck of the woods, but is worth a look. I've been able to get the Canadian junk at spot when it shows up in the shop, including the silver dollars, which silver dollars, because they're such nice coins, and I mean they're big coins, and they're 0.6 ounces a piece, so these go for a little premium on eBay, even just the regular like Voyagers, not to mention the more numismatic examples, the commemorative dollars. So they do really good for resale. If you can get them for spot, then I would suggest it if I were you, right? So since my goal for now is putting as many ounces as I can in the stack for as low of a price and as low of a premium as I can, these coins really fit my strategy. Like I said in my first YouTube video, I'm more of a value stacker right now because I don't like paying premiums. So check your LCS. Maybe nobody cares about this stuff in your neck of the woods and you can get a deal. There's definitely a market for them on eBay right now. And I would say be on the lookout for commemorative dollars that are good years. So maybe you can find some at the local store and keep them in the stack or resell one or two just to get an idea of what they're going for. So until next time, guys, thanks for hitting up the Silver Jawn, and I will see yous later. Thanks.